Hi there, back again with this Philips, what was it? Philips 161B 1955. Now, got a bit of a problem. With the other video, if you've watched it, I said one of these bigger controllers that were on the front was probably for the rotary switch to change from broadcast to shortwave, etc. And I thought it was stripped, wasn't working, but that's not what the problem is. If you have a look up here, there's the mechanism that they use. This is for volume and on-off and tone. Now, if you see this one here, it's broken. See? Snapped in half. And that goes to there. And here fits to there. That's why the rotary switch is not working. Tuning works okay, no problem. So I'll try some super glue and put it back on, but I'm not too concerned because at the moment this rotary switch is on broadcast anyway, and as far as I know from around this area, at least, there's no shortwave. So I'm not real fussed. I don't really care that much whether the super glue works or not, but I'll do my best. All right, now there's we've got a dual can electrolytic capacitor here. Now it's a Ducon. Now from memory, I think, let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that they closed up shop and stopped making capacitors in 1952 or 53, somewhere around there. Now this radio is circular 1955. So this capacitor was at least 2 years old before they put it in this radio. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Now I was going to test all these other caps here, etc. But they're all had it. You can see that these old oil wax jobs, paper jobs, they're all cactus. So, and I don't like the look of this resistor just here too. If you can see it just there, see it? It looks like it's been getting hot, or maybe this capacitor wax stripped on it. I don't know, whatever. And that looks like there's my tone control capacitor. Speaking of tone control, for those who don't know, these old radios, there are two types of tone control circuits, active and passive. Now, most of these old radios use passive tone control. Passive, and what passive means is that, for instance, if you listen to the radio and you say, I think it needs a bit more treble, so you turn up the treble, but it actually doesn't turn up the treble, it turns down the bass. And vice versa, if you think it needs more bass, you turn up the bass, it turns down the treble. That's passive tone control. Active tone control, on the other hand, if you turn up the treble, the bass remains the same, but the treble does go up, and vice versa with the bass. So anyway, I just thought I'd let you know if anyone didn't know. So what I'll do is I might place this camera on a stand here, and we'll just replace this capacitor here, and then we'll stick a fuse in, and then I'll have to do a little bit of a hunt around and try and find the coupling capacitor, and that would definitely need to be changed. And then later on in another video, we'll sort out all these capacitors. Test some of these. Actually, I might test some of these resistors today after I do this capacitor and fuse. So I'll just pause for a sec. Hang on. All right. So I've set that up. I hope you can see all right. So what I'll do is I'll just snip out this capacitor. So that's the 24. That's the 8, and that's our ground. Yeah, it looks a bit iffy, doesn't it? Like you see. Alright, so let's go here and we'll put in this cap. I'll just solder this end here. Maybe you can see all right. Got to buy a new soldering gun. My other one packed it in yesterday. I don't know why. Just did. But why do things always happen in threes? That's what I want to know. Because my soldering iron packed it in, and then my heater on my reverse cycle heating, the electrothermostat, packed it in. This is all in the same week. Right, that packed it in. And then one of my hard drives, I've got 4 hard drives in my computer, one of those packed it in. What? Always threes. That all happened within 5 days. I don't know why that happens like that. I don't know if anyone else has that issue. But I certainly did this time, and that certainly happens a lot to me. I don't know why. So I can't remember which one's what here. Okay, 16, 22. Okay, so it's the 22 one there. Bend that over a bit. I'll just put a little J hook on this thing. Make sure we get a mechanical connection, as they say. Scrape this. Sometimes they get like a film on them or something, and they don't want to solder. I mean, this was floating in there anyway, so it should be all right. So we'll just put that on there, and we'll just put some solder on there, hopefully. And yeah, so I've got a couple of good radios coming up soon in wooden cases. What do you call them? Not tabletop. What's the other thing? Mantle one. So that might be a bit interesting. Both got what do you call it? Magic eye tubes on them. So that should be interesting. We'll see if the magic eye tubes work. I doubt it. They usually don't. So that goes there. Just scrape it a bit. So I don't know when I'll be doing those. I'll get this thing sorted out for my mate down the road, and after that I'll get it sorted out. We can work out the other what we need for the other radios. I also have some news coming up. I'm not sure. I think I'll talk about it when we start on the wooden case radios that I'm going to do. It's just an idea I have, and I want some feedback from people to see if you think it's a good idea or not. But we'll discuss that when I do the wooden case radios. So let's just quickly check a couple of resistors here. So what is that? That's red, yellow. So 22. 2.2, okay. So what's this on? 20, and that's not going to work. Let's see. Look at, I'll just show you the meter here. I don't know if you can see that on this resistor. Red, yellow, so 22440 zeros. 220. Nothing, right? So I got it on 200k. So I'll put it on 202 meg. Nothing, a little bit. So what's that coming through to? That's way out. Way out. So that'll have to go. Let's check this one. What is it? Is that a... Yeah, okay. So what's that? Where's my pen? So that's 470k. So this one here should be 470k. So we'll leave it on 2 meg. As you can see the meter there. Don't think I'll worry about that one. That's not too bad. Okay, let's try another one. What's this one? Blue, sort of red. So what's that show up as? So I'm 2 meg at the moment. Okay, 49. That seems alright. What about the next one? Underneath. Where does that go? Oh, there. Dead. No, here she comes. Ah, that's all right. Close to the other one. That was all right. So what about this one? Yellow, purple, red. $470. Yeah, I think I'll replace that one. That's not real happy. All right, I just thought I'd do a rough check. So what I'll do now is, I'm just going to do a fuse for this thing. Now, I've got the fuse here. What I normally do with these fuses, there we go. Slow blow, make sure you always use a slow blow fuse. If you use a fast blow, when you first switch the radio on, you can get trouble because you get that big surge of power and it can blow the fuse. But if you use a slow blow, they handle it. So we'll just do that. Put some wire on here. Come on, there we go. I've got like a handful of these old crappy resistors that are useless, and I just use each one of those to attach to the fuse. All right, let's see. So that's that. And up. Oh. Snip that off. And we'll put the other side on. Here we go. And then we'll power up the radio and see if it sounds any better than before. Well, before it was motorboating. So that's how I knew that probably the filter caps were fucked. So anyway, we'll soon find out. So let me put this back, solder this wire on, and then we'll put this fuse in, and then we'll be right. Alright, so I'll just wait for that to dry. Right. Alright, so we're on our way. Get rid of that. Ooh. I'll just put the meter on this fuse to make sure I haven't burned it out with the heat. You've got to be quick. So I'll just get the meter here, stick it up there, and we'll see. Make sure it's not, I didn't overdo it. Let's see. No, it's good. Okay, so I was quick enough. So I still sus about this power cord. It's, I don't know, you know. Just,